Hi, I'm Tori.
And I'm Leah.
And I'm Samantha.
And welcome back to the Boys Lie
A
podcast.
podcast where we talk about the craziest relationship stories you've ever heard, pop culture, and the piping hot tea of our lives.
So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and remember that boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
You guys, today we're so excited. We have such a special guest, and this is going to be a little bit of a different episode, but we are sitting next to Samantha, who is House of Aura's founder.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I feel very honored. I have been watching your journey ever since the beginning. I have your first launch, like the blue sweatshirt that said I had to push you, otherwise you wouldn't move. Let's love the universe.
Wait, I can't even remember which one that is. Feel like,
It's like really OG.
is that the Kneel Before Me?
It's something, it was like around that same era as when we did
The
that.
dark era.
It's just very dark.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are kind of crazy and potentially dark, is we are going to have our auras read on this podcast by Samantha, and I'm a little bit nervous. I hope mine even like showed. Like, I hope I even have one.
You have one. Everybody has one. So so I started a company called House of Aura. I do aura photography at events, weddings, parties, private, corporate events, you name it, wellness retreats. And now I'm here with Boys Lie doing their aura. Basically, aura photography is this healing modality that uses a camera that uses electromagnetic currents, hand sensors, to pick up your aura. And there's like a button on the camera, you click it, it automatically sends the information to the hand sensors and double exposes the film and portrays it on a Polaroid. And I like to call it your soul's blueprint. It's not like always like this like beautiful thing. It's not supposed to just be like rainbows and light. It's like basically a guide into the direction that you need to kind of be heading in the next few months.
Wow.
It's on like the left side of an aura, it means something. The right side of the aura means something different. And it can change.
I didn't know that. I thought your aura was just like your aura your whole life.
No, I feel like it changes based off of what you're going through.
Exactly. If you're in a stagnant place, like it will stay the same. I've tested on myself. I was like in a pretty stagnant time in my life a few years ago. Stayed the same for pretty much 7 months. I completely shifted my life, moved physically to a new location, or completely changed.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of just a quick awakening to like what you need to hear, what you need to see.
How often do you read your own?
Sometimes I don't like to, honestly.
Really?
It would spook me too, honestly. Sometimes you just don't need to know.
Right, exactly. Sometimes it's just like when you're feeling like, okay, I'm actually ready to like deal with me. I'll do it.
Wow. Okay.
So I hope you guys are ready.
Now I'm nervous.
I'm excited. So we're not just doing the aura reading. Isn't there another type of reading we're also doing here?
Yeah, so usually at my events, I will do, while the photo develops, I'll do a 3-card oracle pull. And oracles, you guys know, like, or maybe you don't. It's like tarot, but it's light, more lighthearted, more direct, not negative.
Wish me luck, guys.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay. We'll let you do your thing.
Do you want me to hold the mic for you? Oops. There we go. I'm just going to hold it close to your face. I'm sorry. I feel like I promise I won't bop you.
Okay, so I usually like to ask if there is something that you're looking for guidance on, something that you're looking for direction on. It can be broad, it can be specific. So I want you to think like, show me 3 cards I need to see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to hand you this.
Okay.
Okay, tap into the deck.
Okay.
Okay, so the first card we got is Shadow Work, Integration, Healing, Soul Retrieval.
Wow.
The second card is Power, Confidence, Strength, Vitality, and Compassion, Loving, Kindness, Tenderness, Tolerance.
The shadow one I'm a little iffy about, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, so what I'm feeling is that I feel this in you, like a power, a strong aura. I feel like you have like a lot of resilience and power and confidence in general. And I feel like when you walk into a room, people can feel that. And I feel like this shadow work part is like, yeah, you have like your earth shit together.
Thank God.
Yeah. And it's kind of asking you to go into like a little deeper, into like less earth shit and more healing shit.
Yeah, someone needs to sign up for therapy again. I'm a little overdue.
And I feel like you have such a strength to you that sometimes you need to let your walls down.
Oh, you're not wrong there either.
And like this is like the card of compassion and being vulnerable and just letting light and love in kind of, and just being compassionate towards yourself as well. Like I'm feeling like you're so harsh on yourself, and it's okay to just like love yourself even more when you want to be hard.
That's true too. That is true.
Like you're such a powerhouse.
Hell
All right. Very cool.
Okay, so now that we've done the oracle reading, I'm gonna flip over your card.
Okay.
Oh,
Red.
it's like red
Is
and
it orange
orange.
or red?
It's like, I would say it's orange, red.
Wait, why is there so much red?
Because this is literally you.
Am I okay?
I like that.
No, it's so good.
I have a question really before you start. Is there usually only one color or are there multiple sometimes?
Oh no, there's multiple. But okay, so I'll explain it.
I got a solid color.
So when there is one color, majority one color, it's basically like there's a very clear mission here right now. Like this is what you need to be doing now and for the next 3 months. These are things that you need to be focusing on and like working on. So on the left side of your aura is very symmetrical to your right. So that means like you're on a mission. It's very clear, like you're not scattered energy. It's like this is it and this is what you need to hear and this is what you need to see. So on the left you have, and on the right you have a lot of orange, and then above you have a lot of red. And orange is the color of joy. And it's literally like when I see color, like prominent colors, it's like this is like what your aura is screaming. Like you need to just be following your joy and saying like fuck the rest. Like that is it. Red is the color of passion, of go-getter energy, of bad bitch energy, like
Hell yeah.
powerhouse energy. That is you.
So into it. Let's do this.
Yeah. And then okay, so you see you have 2 orbs on your body.
Is that normal?
Orbs on the body are people in your life or in your lineage that have passed, and they show up on your aura in certain colors to send specific messages, and like they are in specific places on your body. So like you have a red heart, like a red orb on your heart, and so they're just basically saying like use your fire energy, be your powerhouse, go do everything you want in life, and like you deserve this life. Like you were made for this life.
Oh, you guys, I'm gonna cry now. My
I know.
anniversary of my grandma's passing was yesterday.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Do you have any tissues?
It's all right. My makeup can just look atrocious.
Do you want to use my sleeve?
No, you're a
Okay.
sweet friend though. I'll just let
You're a
it.
pretty crier.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're still beautiful.
Thank you.
It's the first time anyone's cried on our podcast, and it's
There it goes, guys. Here's my vulnerability.
Aw, this is it. This is the work though. Like this is it.
That's crazy that you have the 2.
Yeah.
And they're like very prominent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love that.
Leah, it's your turn before I pass away.
You can keep going. I'm scared.
I feel so much better that this isn't on me anymore.
No, it's all good, guys.
Deep breaths.
I mean, I just cried, so nothing to be nervous
I
about.
feel like I might cry too.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you do the same thing. I'm gonna ask, is there something that you're looking for guidance on? Something specific, broad, anything?
I think I'm more just so like, what does my future hold for me? I don't know.
Okay. Just like directional guidance.
Yeah.
When you feel called, pull a card.
Okay. I'm scared.
Inspiration, stimulation, mastery, creative flow. Giving, receiving, harmony, karma. And the student, curiosity, flexibility, eloquence. Okay, so I'm feeling right now is like a time for you to be learning and growing and expanding and in your creative energy. And in doing so, I want you to focus on this card though, which is like making sure that you are in situations, in relationships, in friendships with people that are giving as much as you are. I feel like you're very like you're just so like nurturing. You have a nurturing energy, and I feel like you like
You do.
in friendships and relationships and the people that are close to you, I feel like you you have that energy, and you need to make sure that you're receiving it just as much and being supported in that way. And so like in this new era of your creative flow, of your student energy, like it's just time to learn and like expand and grow, and like that be with this podcast, with your business, with whatever venture you guys are going to do next. Like I feel like amazing things, but just make sure you have boundaries and you are putting out just as much as you are receiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But like I feel like you're about to be in this like beautiful, juicy, like creative, feminine flow energy right now. And I
Okay.
feel like lean into it.
Okay, I will.
This is it. It's like your time, and like just enjoy it. And
It's your
just-
time to shine, bitch.
just enjoy it. You can be putting out as much as you want, and like I do think it will come back tenfold. But I do also think like this is a card of balance. Like on the left is the same as the right. And I just feel like at this point in your life, you know what's good for you, you know what's not.
Yeah.
And you're making your way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Photo
big
reveal.
I'm so scared.
Oh my gosh. You have a lot of orange too. And yellow.
Green?
Green. Yeah.
Oh. I'm colorblind.
No, it's orange, green, and yellow. And it's like a rainbow.
Like, what does that mean?
So you also have a very symmetrical aura as well, which means like it's the same on the left as the right. And if you see in like my photos up there, and I have lots of examples I can show you guys later, it's different because it's kind of like current energy and then more future energy on the other side, but yours is the same. So like you guys both are in this period of complete flow, and you're meant to be like where you are, and you're meant to be following you're meant to be following like this powerhouse energy, this flow energy, this creative energy. Orange is the color of joy and creativity. That's like you are meant to be doing what you're doing right now. And above you, you have a yellow arc above your head, above your crown chakra, which is yellow is the color of like happiness and radiance. And so like basically doing things that create a spark of joy in you are going to allow you to just radiate and call in things that you want, and just like walk into a room and kind of just be like a light.
You're golden.
You have lots of orange and yellow, great colors. And then above you, your main arc, above all, is green. And green is the color of leadership, change, assertion. So there could be some new directional change that you're about to be taking. And I think you are meant to be following it.
That means, Kevin, you better propose soon.
Yeah.
This might be a stupid question. Have you ever done a pregnant person? Like, does that aura get like wonky?
Okay, it's crazy. I did a pregnant lady last night, and you can see their baby. Like their orb, an orb for them shows up.
Oh my God, I'll be calling you when I'm pregnant.
Wait, so is the baby the same orb light as the mother, or is it completely different?
Sometimes it's completely different, and sometimes it's the same. So last night I did my friend Carly here. She's like a wellness girly in LA, and she's an Aries, and her son is going to be an Aries.
Fire energy.
He was a red hot orb, and she was really like red too. And it was like incredible.
Oh my God.
It was
so cool.
Yeah. And her like her card reading was insane. Like the position that she wanted to birth her child in showed up on her cards. Like
my
it
God.
was a wild
Spooky.
experience.
That is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Spirits come through. I did also like a family, and I did a couple, and they were like trying to have a baby. And
Yeah.
I had this feeling when I just pulled their card over. They had a huge orb in between them, like a white glowing orb. I was like, I don't want to, like, you
don't
have to
wanna
decipher.
ask-
You
Yeah.
have to decipher whether like you can say these things that you feel. And I
Right.
felt like very okay to do so. And I was like, are you guys trying to have a baby?
Aww.
And they're like, yeah, we are. They started crying. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, I feel the energy coming through. Like,
Oh my God.
your
that is so
baby's in spirit
cool.
world, so it's coming, you know.
That is so cool.
I'm gonna start crying again.
That is awesome. This is like fucking sick. I wonder what our auras would be when you come back, hopefully on our podcast again in a year from now.
I would literally love to do that, and they would be completely different.
We'd have to do like a complete comparison.
Yeah.
I like to say that like auras are maps, because like sometimes the color can be completely different on the left bottom side, and then the up here, and then to the right and down. And
That's
so like
crazy.
it's like, okay, you need to do this to get to that, to get to there, to get to there. It's like a 3 month, like I would say like
Process.
auras are like 3 months. This is like the energy for the next 3 months, and this is like what you're supposed to be focusing on, and like the direction that you're meant to be going through. And right now, you guys, like your energy is not very scattered. Like you have a very, it's like this is the way you're supposed to be going. Like you don't need to be like doing this, 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 and this. It's like, no, like you need to be focusing on this. You need to be focusing on that.
That's good to know. I feel like this is very reassuring.
Yeah.
I feel good about this. And I think that everything that we've even been doing together, like with our business and what we've been talking about, like for the future, which is all positive.
It's all positive.
Yeah, it's all positive.
I might need to see Arams after this before you go, just
I
because.
know. Would you be able to do his?
Yes,
too?
yes, I'll do
And
his.
maybe Oscar could feel
Yes.
out? Okay.
I
Yeah.
brought extra.
I need to see
Okay, that
the
would be
two
awesome
of
to
these
see.
Yes.
kind men,
I'll do them.
souls.
This is such an amazing thing that you do. I really like salute you for it, and the fact that like it's a very rare thing, I feel like, to find somebody who's doing what you do. And I'm sure at some times like it's maybe not easy having to tell people stuff that they might not want to hear.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that, I guess, mentally, and how do you handle it?
So I think I was born for this. Like I'm good at telling people things they don't want to hear. And I'm also like really good at deciphering when people are able to receive and if they're not. So if someone signs up for an individual session with me, like, okay, that is basically giving me permission to like say what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and whether that is good, bad. There's nothing that's good or bad. It just is. And like we cannot have good without the bad, and vice versa. So, but when I'm at events that are like, you know, pre-planned, I'm doing weddings and stuff. I'm not about to ruin the bride's day.
Yeah.
They all start
Facts.
crying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Everyone does
understand
cry, but it's like more of
Yeah.
like a happy cry.
that. Yeah.
And it's more of like a relief and just like, oh, like I needed that. I needed to hear that today. And that's like why I do what I do.
Is there anything else that you want to kind of let the people know before you hop into story?
Yeah, where can they find you?
Yes. So I have an Instagram, houseofaura.co, and I am located in Colorado and Denver, but I travel worldwide and do events and parties all over. I have an amazing team. I didn't get here alone. My best friend Caitlin helped me with this idea, and we just manifested it and created it, and one day just put it out in the world, and it took.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I feel relieved now. I was like nervous to see what my aura was, but
You guys are both beautiful shining stars. So
Aw, thank you.
thank
that
you.
is the takeaway for real.
I feel like I have so many questions. We could go on forever, but I feel like we should maybe hop into story time.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
going to be fun.
So if you guys have a Boys Lie story you'd like to submit to the Boys Lie podcast, please submit via boyslieofficial.com, and you can now watch us on YouTube. And yeah, we'll jump into it.
Should I go first?
Yeah, why
maybe?
not?
I'll submit my anonymous story to you guys later because I can't share.
I can't wait.
I'm going to hop into the first story. Met my now ex-husband in 2020 during my healing journey from a serial cheating ex. He took on the character of knight in shining armor and truly led my whole family to believe that he was here to give me the treatment that I've always deserved and protect me. This man said all the right things, most of the time tried to do the right things as well, or at least that's how it seemed. Fast forward to January 5th, 2024. We are married, have an 8-month-old baby girl, and are barely making ends meet. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. He has gone 60 plus hours a week for work, and yet we are having to pick which bill or bills we can't pay that month because the money just isn't there. After being told excuse after excuse as to why his check was so low or why he had to look for another job, I was finally done. I woke up that morning to 4 texts detailing why the check wasn't the amount that he had told me that it was 3 days prior, and I decided that I would put my foot down and demand the truth. I'd already planned to be in Oklahoma with my mom's family that weekend for her birthday, and I told him that I know he is lying and I'd like space over the weekend for us both to think. I asked him to think about what I deserve because I want us to be a unit and I want to share our burdens together, and that means I need to know the truth about work so I can help. I got home on Sunday, and for the next 2 weeks I dug up enough lies to warrant a decision for divorce. No therapy, no discussing it, get me the fuck out of here, divorce.
Holy shit.
Lie number 1. When he was telling me he was being called out for work, he was actually calling out for the inconvenience of not having enough work orders for him to come in. Lie number 2, he had provided me with fraudulent insurance and actually didn't have my vehicle covered under insurance while I used it as my everyday transportation with our child inside for a fucking year. Thankful is an understatement that I hadn't been pulled over. Lie number 3 was not paying for the payments on the car. I got our family in my name and it had to be repoed. Lie number 4 went through his phone. Check your man's app download history, ladies. I never even knew to do that.
I did.
I'm like trying to pick my mouth up from the floor.
Check. I had no idea about this. Check your phone, your man's app download history, ladies. Every dating app, porn app, or sex game had been downloaded on this man's phone. And the date for the oldest one was June 5th, 2022, 2 months after we were married. Lie number 5, he had a pornography addiction. This man admitted this to me in counseling and said that he had an ongoing battle with sex, porn, and masturbation. This is also really common, I hear.
Yes.
Spooky.
Lie number 6. I had questioned him about some reasonings he had given me for the past year of losing his jobs. He had well over 15 jobs. 15 jobs in the last 3.5 years
Red
we were
flags.
together. Most of the reasons were lies. When I asked why he actually quit, he said he was fired for not being able to do the jobs like he had told the employer he could when he interviewed. And he was too embarrassed to admit it to me, so he would concoct some obscene, crazy story and even create fake proof to show me. Lie number 7, that he wanted to help and work on our marriage. I didn't want my daughter to grow up in a broken home, so I made the decision to provide support and help him. I contacted a pastor for help. Him and his wife said they'd sit down with us. For 2 weeks, we met 3 times a week with the pastor and his wife. On a Sunday in the middle of January, I'm literally bawling and praying for peace and clarity, but I could not shake this gut feeling that there is more. But every single time I asked, I was told that there is nothing to admit and that I can dig until I want to, but nothing will surface. Well, thank God I didn't put that shovel down. The following day, I'm sitting at McDonald's drive-thru trying to think about what I haven't looked into. I feel that.
Oh, I would be so sick to
Sitting
my
in McDonald's
stomach.
drive-thru just being like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Then she says, then it hits me, phone records. Through T-Mobile, I am sent a PDF of every incoming and outgoing call to both of our phones for that billing cycle. Gives me the date stamp and how long the calls last. So I print for the past 2 months and start highlighting all the numbers that are reoccurring and phone calls that have lasted more than 10 minutes. I found 2 numbers that seemed sus. Called them, and sure fuck enough, both were women who had been seeing him and had sex with him. This is anonymous, and I don't give a fuck about feelings that are hurt or if they hear the story on your show, so I'm gonna blast this shit.
Good for you.
Get it, girl.
This lying ass sicko cheated on me the night back in January when I said, hey, we are a unit, I want to help, please think about being honest with me, and when I went to stay with my parents for our Oklahoma trip. That's not the worst of it, though. He cheated 0.2 miles away from our home in the restroom of an Anytime Fitness. The nerve. When I went back to our text from that night to see how the fuck he could do that when we were still texting all night, he had sent me, I love you forever and always. You girls are my world. Please don't give up on me. 5 minutes before going into the gym. Whew. Lie number 8.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, no.
So my crazy ass met up with the current girlfriend. Shout out to her because she let me take photos of all of their texts for proof. Also, shout out to the other woman because she sent me every text so I had proof of the affair for court. While meeting with the current one, she asked me if I was in a recent car accident. This lie to me is so cruel and disturbing that I still cringe even writing this. Him and her worked together, and so she had been told about 2 months back he had called work and said that I had been in a car accident with my daughter and was on life support in the hospital and was in a coma. That our daughter made it out safe with only bruising, and he would need to be off for the next 2 weeks to take care of us. Obviously, none of this was true. I still have no clue what he did for that time period because he still left for work at 6 a.m. and came home at 6 to 7 p.m. I've never met a pathological liar. I also had no clue that people could actually get their brain to believe the lies they were telling. So now I have a great time debriefing myself every time I have to communicate with him, reminding myself of what I know is true and not letting the shit he says take up any of my headspace. Oh, and as of October 18th, he is now remarried. So if by some twisted fate, and if she is listening, if she is listening to this boy's lie story, girl, fucking run.
You deserve
Can't
to
be
be
too crazy.
You deserve to be as crazy as you want. The things he did to you were unfathomable. I do love a girl power moment, though, and I appreciate the girlfriends banding up with her and saying like, let's get you these receipts. So power to them
I
as
was
well.
gonna say we love the girls situation in
sure.
this. I think it's empowering.
I just like I can't imagine being married to somebody and like having a child and like having to go through all that. So obviously like that makes it so much more difficult to leave.
Can I like quickly ask this? And this is something that we talked about recently over dinner with another friend. And it doesn't bother me to have my man's watch porn. Like that
me
doesn't,
either.
if he's in his free hour, like whatever. I don't know.
If I'm not home, like, do I want him to be doing it? Not really, but like go for it.
Do I want to fully know? Probably not.
No.
Like I don't really care to know.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm
but
so sensitive. I'm like, that hurts my feelings.
so there are some women that I do know don't allow their partners to watch porn at all, and they do consider that a form of cheating. And I was kind of wondering what your take on that is.
Okay, this is insane because I literally my partner lives in Colorado, and I just had this conversation with him literally like 48 hours ago.
I think it's a very common theme in people's relationships, to be honest with you.
Like in the past, like I have not cared, but I think like the more that I see like and I hear the problems that people have developed from watching porn, it kind of does.
It installs a different fear in you.
Exactly. And like I'm just thinking about my future and hopefully my future kids, and like I just don't like that's not something you want to promote, and I just don't want the father of my kids to be honestly doing that. So like
Watching porn or masturbating?
no, masturbating, go for it.
Just watching porn.
Porn, like I don't know, it's just usually not tasteful and it's just not realistic, and I don't know.
I think it's like
I get it.
categorized. Like I don't want my husband chatting it up with some vidcam girly
Oh,
pop
hell no.
doing porn that way. Like what? Absolutely not. But if it's like a Pornhub, I don't know, once in a moment, I'm not home for a week, like enjoy your pornathon and pizza.
yeah,
I
mean,
don't
you're
know.
so kind. Like I'm so sensitive. I'm like that's hurts my feelings.
Have you like, if you don't mind me asking, have you like caught him like in the act?
No.
Okay.
No, never.
So I'm like, if that was happening like over and over, I'd be like, you got to stop, buddy. Like,
I honestly don't even know if like I don't even think he like I mean I'm sure he does, but like
Yeah.
not like so often that I even know about it or have seen it. Like it's just something that has been on my mind lately, which is so crazy that this is
I was about to
coming out.
say, I do think that if you are catching your partner in the act of that they're doing it more repeatedly than what you think that they are, because
you should not be catching them.
yeah, exactly. I think that's the other side of it. Like I
Fair.
don't want to catch you.
Fair.
I don't want to know.
Fair.
But I get why I'm not personally upset by it, but I can understand why somebody would be. And here's why. I can see it as a fact. Like they're literally getting off to watching somebody else other than you. So like I understand that part.
And I understand that's like human nature and like it is what it is, but
I get it. I do.
And these scenarios where there's like multiple partners sometimes and porn can get really dark. So it really depends on the
that's the darkness of it. Like I'm sure there is like light porn, I guess. Like there is like beautiful porn, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
You don't know how dark
You
they're
don't
getting
know.
into. And that I can understand. Like I don't want my husband watching like dungeon German
my
porn.
My
I don't know.
partner definitely is not doing anything of that. Let me just put that where we just got engaged. So
Congratulations, by the way.
he's literally a baby angel. So
Yeah.
No, but I get it. I totally do.
Do you want to jump into yours?
yes.
Here we go.
Okay. Hey girls, from the time I was 13 to 16 years old, I was dating this guy. We called him Brad. Me and Brad were constantly on and off. Brad was not a great guy whatsoever, but I was young and being manipulated. Every time we were not on good terms, he would go sleep with other girls and then he would want to make things right again. Me, not thinking clearly, I would always take him back. Make way through our sophomore year, we officially started dating. Everything was mostly good until he started acting weird about 4 months in. He started getting distant until he just randomly broke up with me. A couple days after breaking up, I found out that he cheated on me with my ex-best friend. I immediately blocked him and was done for good and never spoke to her again. A month later, I was invited to a party along with 5 of my friends. All of us show up to the party and the first person I see is Brad. He comes out the party, looks at my car and screams, "Everyone can stay except for fucking me." This was not his party, so I just gave him a dirty look and walked past him. I walked into the party and stared, talking to all the people, but Brad could not get over the fact I was there. Him and the girl he cheated on me with, which was his new girlfriend, kept making comments saying that they wanted me kicked out. After 10 minutes of being there, Brad started going off saying that he was going to call my parents and tell them I was at his party. Mr.
So
Big
scary.
Balls. My parents hated him. I just laughed because he really thought calling my parents was going to do something. Then his sister comes up to me and says that I should probably leave before things get bad. I looked at her and said, fuck no, this is not his or your party. I'm staying. If he is bothered by me, then him and his rat can leave.
Oh no.
There was nothing she could do, so she just walked away. Then I walked outside to go get another beer, and when I came back, Brad is standing outside looking at me. He gave me a dirty look, and that's when I had enough. I looked at him and said, "You're such a fucking pussy."
Wow.
He said, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" Then I just started getting heated at this point. We started screaming at each other. I then screamed, "You're a piece of shit. It's not my fault that you fucking cheated and now you're mad." He was calling me a bitch and many other slanders. We went back and forth for about 30 seconds, screaming at the top of our lungs until everyone at the party heard. People started coming out and listening to us screaming at each other. As we were yelling, he started coming towards me, so I started going towards him. He was coming at me like he was going to hit me, so I did the same. Once our friend saw it was about to get bad, he ran over and grabbed me and took me away. We were then separated. I went to my car to cool off for a bit and then went back in. Brad and his girlfriend were making out in the corner, so I just laughed, flipped them off, and carried on. When they saw me back in there, they got mad and left. Then I got fucked up and had the best night of my life. The end.
Wow, and happily ever after. I also love that they're like, get out, and it's not like isn't even their house. And then they go back in to party and grab beers and then like talk shit to everyone and be like, go tell Sarah Jane to go up to so and so and be like, you're not invited here.
Have you guys ever gotten kicked out of a party in high school?
No.
I think that people were scared of me in high school, so
Oh.
like I was probably like this drunk girl screaming at everyone.
You were the one that was kicking it.
Yeah.
Should I jump into the...
Yeah.
All right. 3 years ago, I moved to a new city. After having a horrible experience in my past situation with my ex-best friend / roommate and a long-term relationship with a dud, I vowed to make new friends who are in alignment with me. I met 2 girls over the last few years who have quickly become my besties. One of them, we'll call her G. Just recently got into her first relationship with an older woman. We'll call her A. Me and G are really close. I'm a photographer and she's a model. She has many of the same creative pursuits in common as me, and we get along really well in our friendship and in our business. Fast forward 6 months of G and A dating and living together, it was revealed to me that A has an insecurity about me and G hanging out. A has expressed to G and others that she thinks that I'm gay and suspects that G and I have something going on between us. I have only ever dated / hooked up with men and currently identify as straight. Sure, I've had the occasional bi-curious thought and have been open about it, but in my 31 years of living, I've never been sexually aroused by a woman and certainly wouldn't make moves on my friend. I've always worked in the fashion industry, and I'm a big ally of the LGBTQIA+ community because they have lifted me up, and I hope to have the same energy for them. I find it troubling that A would accuse me of cheating, and also she would spread misinformation about my sexuality to G and other mutual friends. A is extremely controlling and only allows G to see friends on her terms. G is not allowed to go to the reception of a mutual friend's wedding, just the ceremony, which resulted in our friend uninviting G from the wedding entirely. And the bride said she doesn't want to deal with A's controlling ass on her wedding day, as she should. What should I say to my best friend G about her toxic controlling relationship with A and how it's affecting all of her surrounding friendships with good people who care about her? Or should I just keep my distance and make new friends again? Thank you for reading. Any advice is appreciated. There was a scenario where there was a summer where Leah and I wanted to hang out with her all summer, and she was in a really tough relationship position. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where by the end of the summer, there was probably like 2 weeks left. I gave them as much space as possible, while also like I tried in certain instances to just get our one-on-one time, which didn't really work out. Put in the effort to try and like get one-on-one time in person to be able to tell you. And the thing is I couldn't, because that controlling figure was always wanting to be in the room. Mm-hmm. So it got to a point by the end of summer that I texted her and I said, like, your friendship means the most to me. And it was really sad because I came home from school so excited to hang out all summer long, and like obviously things didn't turn out that way, and I'm always here for you and I'll always like be here for you, but this for me is like it was really hard to experience and it was a lot to see. And I hope that you're doing okay. And it wasn't too long after you guys ended up actually broke up. Yeah.
But like that was the most isolating relationship I've ever been in, and I'd never been in one like that before, and I didn't even realize it was happening when it was. So like I mean I did in looking back in the grand scheme of things, but I think when you're in it, like your friend is, whoever wrote this in, it's so hard to get that person to kind of like wake up and see what's really happening.
Well, I think the other side of it too is like there is an embarrassment piece to it where it's like you don't want then your significant other to be sitting there and playing babysitter on you and your friend hanging out. So it puts you in an uncomfortable like zone. But I think, you know, if this is your bestie, you're going to outlive this relationship. Your relationship will. And I think that saying something in a way that's in a vulnerable place that comes from a place of heart, I think that's something that can be done through a text if you can't do it in person. And I think you should do it. And I think it should be sweet and sincere.
For sure.
Heartfelt, led from your heart, coming through with kindness and just care and compassion.
And be more about also like your own relationship with your bestie, not about their relationship. Like I don't recall me saying like ever that this person's toxic, don't ever be with them. Like
no,
it was never not until after that I came forward. Yeah, but it was it wasn't until it was more about us and just my time with you. And
that's the way to do it.
I said that it like I just saw changes that made me so sad, and like you got out of that so quick.
Yeah. And I think that that's the perfect way to do it, because coming at anybody at a place of anger is never going to get you anywhere in life.
And their relationship like truly has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
At all. Like your friend's happiness is your friend's happiness, and that's relationship she carries with other people. But the time that she has with you and her support that you need as a friend, that's what you need to be honest about.
And like most of the time, like most of the 99% of the time, they're going to go through it no matter what you say. And that's just how we learn, and that's how we grow, and that's how we evolve, and you come out the other side.
It's just a waiting game at this point.
Yes.
Like they're not going to get married. I wouldn't stress about that.
These were good stories this week, guys. Keep submitting them. We love reading these stories. And next episode, we'll be announcing the November giveaway winner. So
yeah.
And Sam, this was so much fun. Is it okay if I call you Sam?
Yeah, you can call me Sam, but no one does. But you can.
Samantha.
Get your auras read.
I love you guys. You guys were awesome. This is beyond anything I expected, and I appreciate you guys and all the work that you are doing. We all have the similar mission. It's just like,
aw,
yeah, I think
love
that's how
that.
I feel.
On that note, buckle up
Enjoy the ride.
and remember that
boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.